Have you ever looked in the mirror and not recognized the person staring back at you? That expressionless face, those hands that won't stop shaking no matter how silently you beg them to cooperate. For millions of people living with Parkinson's, this moment isn't just a morning ritual. It's a daily reminder of how the disease has slowly changed not only their body, but how the world sees them. What many don't realize is that right in your kitchen lies a powerful arsenal to combat these debilitating symptoms. Imagine opening your refrigerator and finding allies that can help slow disease progression, improve your movements, and even clear the mental fog that often accompanies Parkinson's. I'm not talking about expensive supplements or experimental treatments, but simple, affordable, and scientifically proven foods that can make a real difference in your quality of life or in the life of someone you love. Today, I'll share 6 surprisingly powerful foods that have shown significant benefits for people with Parkinson's, helping strengthen both body and mind. The most extraordinary thing is that you probably already have several of them in your pantry, or can easily find them at your nearest grocery store. Each bite can be a small step toward more independence and well-being. Stay with me until the end, as I'll show you exactly how to incorporate these superfoods into your daily routine in practical and delicious ways. Before we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Leave a comment below and feel free to share your experience with Parkinson's. If you or someone you love is facing the daily challenges of this condition and seeking reliable, evidence-based information explained in a simple, practical way, this channel was created especially for you. Here at Beyond Parkinson, we regularly share strategies, exercises, and tips that have helped hundreds of people regain small and large independence in their daily lives. Click the subscribe button now. It's completely free, and you won't miss any valuable information that could transform your quality of life or that of your family member. Now, let's get to what really matters. The first food I want to highlight is turmeric, a golden spice that many people know only as an ingredient in curry. Among the many spices that can benefit people with Parkinson's, turmeric stands out as truly exceptional. But what makes this simple seasoning so special? Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, which has powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. In the context of Parkinson's, this is crucial because neuroinflammation and oxidative stress are 2 destructive processes that significantly contribute to the degeneration of dopamine-producing neurons. It's as if curcumin works as a protective shield, preventing these specialized nerve cells from being damaged by the toxic environment that forms in the brain. A study published in the Journal of Neurochemistry demonstrated that curcumin can help prevent the aggregation of alpha-synuclein protein, one of the main markers of Parkinson's. This protein normally accumulates and forms toxic plaques that damage neurons, but curcumin seems to interfere with this process, potentially slowing disease progression. Additionally, researchers at Johns Hopkins University discovered that curcumin can stimulate the production of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that acts as a kind of fertilizer for your neurons, promoting their health and survival. But how do you incorporate turmeric into your daily diet? A simple way is to add half a teaspoon of this golden spice to your breakfast, either mixed into scrambled eggs, added to yogurt with fruit, or incorporated into smoothies. To increase absorption, always combine turmeric with a little black pepper and some source of healthy fat, such as olive oil. This is because piperine, present in black pepper, increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. A particularly beneficial recipe is the so-called golden milk. Heat a cup of plant milk, such as almond. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper, a little cinnamon and ginger, sweetening with honey if desired. This comforting drink can be consumed before bedtime, potentially also helping with sleep problems that frequently accompany Parkinson's. An important point to consider: if you're taking anticoagulant medications, talk to your doctor before significantly increasing turmeric consumption, as it also has mild anticoagulant properties that could interact with these medications. Now, let's move on to our second powerful food, blueberries. Among all the fruits we can include in our diet, blueberries occupy a special place when it comes to brain health and Parkinson's. But what makes these small blue fruits so extraordinary? Blueberries are exceptionally rich in anthocyanins, compounds that give them their characteristic color and have powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. In the context of Parkinson's, this is particularly relevant because oxidative stress is considered one of the main villains behind the death of dopamine-producing neurons. A study conducted by the University of Cincinnati found that regular consumption of blueberries can significantly improve cognitive function in older adults. including those with mild cognitive decline, often associated with Parkinson's. Even more impressive, researchers from Harvard University followed more than 130,000 people for 20 years and found that those who regularly consumed fruits rich in anthocyanins, such as blueberries, had a significantly lower risk of developing Parkinson's. But the benefits go beyond prevention. For those already living with the disease, these small fruits can help improve communication between neurons and protect brain cells from oxidative damage caused by free radicals. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry demonstrated that blueberry extracts can increase the survival of dopaminergic neurons in cell cultures exposed to Parkinson's-related toxins. How can you include blueberries in your daily diet? One of the simplest ways is to add half a cup of fresh or frozen berries to your breakfast, either mixed into yogurt, oatmeal, or in smoothies. If fresh blueberries aren't available or are too expensive in your area, know that the frozen version maintains virtually all the nutrients and generally has a more accessible cost. Another delicious option is to prepare a homemade compote without refined sugar, using just a little honey or xylitol to sweeten, which can be spread on whole grain toast or added to pancakes. A valuable tip: combine blueberries with other foods rich in vitamin C, such as strawberries or a little orange juice, as this helps the body better absorb the beneficial compounds. For those who have difficulty consuming the fruit, 100% natural blueberry juice, without added sugar, also offers benefits, although in lesser amounts due to the loss of fiber. Remember that consistency is key. Small amounts consumed regularly bring more benefits than large amounts occasionally. Before we continue with the next food, I want to pause to ask you something important. How has Parkinson's affected your meals? Do you have difficulty holding utensils? Do tremors worsen during meals? Or perhaps you've developed an aversion to certain foods due to taste changes or swallowing difficulties. This question isn't just out of curiosity. Many people with Parkinson's face unique challenges related to eating that are rarely discussed in traditional medical consultations. Share your experience in the comments. You can simply copy and complete this phrase. My biggest food challenge with Parkinson's is. Your comment might be exactly the information someone else needs to feel understood and less alone on this journey. Additionally, your stories help us create more specific content for the real difficulties you face daily. Now let's continue with our third superfood, which can bring surprising benefits for those living with Parkinson's. The third food I want to share with you is nuts, especially Brazil nuts. Among all available nuts, Brazil nuts stand out as true nutritional treasures for people with Parkinson's. But what makes these nuts so special? The answer lies in selenium, an essential mineral of which Brazil nuts are the richest known food source. A single Brazil nut contains more than the recommended daily amount of this vital nutrient. In the context of Parkinson's, selenium plays a crucial role as a potent antioxidant, protecting brain cells from oxidative damage. Studies published in the Journal of Neurochemistry have demonstrated that adequate selenium levels are associated with protection of dopaminergic neurons, exactly those affected by Parkinson's. But the benefits of nuts go beyond selenium. They're rich in omega-3 fatty acids, especially walnuts, which have anti-inflammatory properties that can help reduce neuroinflammation associated with Parkinson's. A longitudinal study conducted by the University of California followed more than 80,000 women for 26 years and found that those who regularly consumed nuts had a significantly lower risk of developing Parkinson's. For those already living with the disease, research suggests that fatty acids found in nuts can help improve nerve signal transmission, potentially benefiting motor control. Additionally, many nuts, including almonds and pistachios, are good sources of vitamin E, another potent antioxidant that has been associated with lower Parkinson's risk in various epidemiological studies. How can you incorporate nuts into your daily diet? Start by consuming a small portion, about 1 ounce or a handful, daily. You can add them to your breakfast, mixing them into yogurt, oatmeal, or fruit salad. Another practical option is to keep them in small portable containers for snacks throughout the day. In the specific case of Brazil nuts, due to their high selenium content, just 2 nuts per day are sufficient to meet daily needs for this mineral. A delicious way to consume nuts is to prepare a homemade butter. Simply process them with a little coconut oil and a pinch of salt. This paste can be spread on whole grain toast or added to smoothies to increase nutritional value. An important point to consider: if you have difficulty chewing or swallowing, common symptoms in more advanced stages of Parkinson's, Consider consuming crushed nuts or in flour form, added to soups, purees, or sauces. For those with significant tremors, chopped nuts are easier to manage than trying to hold whole ones. The fourth superfood to strengthen body and mind in Parkinson's is fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, tuna, and mackerel. Among the various protein options available, cold water fish occupy a prominent place when we think about nutrition for the brain and nervous system. But what makes these fish so special for people with Parkinson's? The answer lies mainly in omega-3 fatty acids, especially EPA and DHA found in abundance in these fish. These fatty acids are essential structural components of cell membranes in the brain and play a fundamental role in communication between neurons. In the context of Parkinson's, this is particularly relevant because efficient neuronal communication is exactly what becomes compromised when dopaminergic neurons begin to degenerate. A study published in the Journal of Neurological Sciences demonstrated that DHA can specifically protect dopamine-producing neurons against toxins that induce Parkinson's-like symptoms. Additionally, omega-3 fatty acids have potent anti-inflammatory properties, helping combat chronic neuroinflammation associated with Parkinson's progression. Researchers from UCLA discovered that people with higher dietary intake of omega-3 showed slower progression of the disease's motor symptoms. But the benefits go beyond omega-3s. Fish like sardines and mackerel are excellent sources of vitamin D, often deficient in people with Parkinson's. This vitamin plays a crucial role in protecting neurons and regulating the immune system. A study from the Mayo Clinic showed that adequate vitamin D levels are associated with better cognitive function and less severe motor symptoms in Parkinson's patients. How can you incorporate fatty fish into your diet? Ideally, consume at least 2 weekly portions of approximately 3 to 3.5 ounces each. If you're not used to the taste of fish like sardines, which have high omega-3 content, start with milder tasting options like salmon. A simple and delicious recipe is baked salmon with herbs. Season the fillet with olive oil, rosemary, thyme, a little lemon, salt, and pepper. Bake for about 15 to 20 minutes and serve with sautéed vegetables. For those who have difficulty with fish texture due to swallowing problems, options like sardine or salmon pâté may be easier to consume. Simply mash the cooked fish with a little olive oil, lemon, and herbs to taste. If you follow a vegetarian or vegan diet, consider plant sources of omega-3 such as flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts. Although these primarily contain ALA, a form of omega-3 that the body needs to convert to EPA and DHA, a process that isn't always efficient. In these cases, algae oil supplements may be an alternative as they directly contain EPA and DHA, but always consult your doctor before starting any supplementation. The fifth food that can make a significant difference for those living with Parkinson's is cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli, kale, cauliflower, and cabbage. Among the many vegetable groups we can include in our diet, crucifers stand out for their unique nutritional profile and specific benefits for people with Parkinson's. But what makes these vegetables so special? Crucifers contain compounds called glucosinolates that, when chewed or cut, transform into bioactive substances such as sulforaphane and indole-3-carbinol. Sulforaphane, found in high concentration especially in broccoli, activates a metabolic pathway known as NRF2, which is considered one of the most important cellular defense systems against oxidative stress. A study published in the journal Science Translational Medicine demonstrated that sulforaphane can protect dopaminergic neurons in experimental models of Parkinson's, potentially slowing disease progression. Additionally, researchers from Johns Hopkins University discovered that sulforaphane can help cells get rid of damaged proteins that accumulate in the brain of people with Parkinson's. This mechanism of cellular cleaning, technically known as autophagy, is fundamental to maintaining neuronal health. Crucifers are also rich in antioxidants, including vitamins A, C, and E, which combat oxidative damage to brain cells. A study from the University of Washington followed more than 1,000 people for 5 years and found that those who regularly consumed cruciferous vegetables maintained better cognitive function over time. How can you incorporate crucifers into your daily diet? Ideally, consume at least 1 portion of approximately 1 cup per day, varying between different types. To preserve nutrients as much as possible, especially sulforaphane, prefer gentler cooking methods such as steaming or quick sautéing, avoiding prolonged boiling. A practical and tasty recipe is sautéed broccoli with garlic. Heat a little olive oil, Add minced garlic, red pepper flakes, optional, and broccoli cut into florets. Sauté for just 5 to 7 minutes until tender but still crisp. Finish with a squeeze of lemon, which not only enhances flavor, but also helps in the absorption of iron present in the vegetables. If you have difficulties chewing or swallowing, common in Parkinson's, consider preparing creamy soups with these vegetables, or adding them to green smoothies along with fruits to mask the more bitter taste of some of them. An important point: if you're taking anticoagulants such as warfarin, talk to your doctor about consuming crucifers, especially kale, which is rich in vitamin K and can interfere with the action of these medications. For those following low FODMAP diets due to digestive problems, know that broccoli and cauliflower in large quantities can cause intestinal discomfort. In these cases, start with small portions and gradually increase according to your tolerance. Our sixth and final superfood to strengthen body and mind in Parkinson's is fermented foods such as natural yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi. Among the most fascinating discoveries of modern neuroscience is the profound connection between our gut and brain, known as the gut-brain axis, and fermented foods are key pieces in this relationship. But how exactly can these foods benefit people with Parkinson's? Recent studies, including groundbreaking research published in the journal Cell, have demonstrated that people with Parkinson's show significant alterations in gut microbiota composition, with a reduction in beneficial bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. These fatty acids are essential for gut barrier health and have anti-inflammatory effects that can extend to the brain. Fermented foods are rich in live probiotics, beneficial microorganisms that help restore gut microbiota balance. Research from Columbia University Medical Center followed 70 Parkinson's patients for 6 months and found that those who regularly consumed fermented foods showed better absorption of levodopa, the main medication for Parkinson's, resulting in less motor fluctuation throughout the day. Additionally, the fermentation process increases the bioavailability of nutrients in foods, including B-complex vitamins that are fundamental for neurological health. A study published in the Journal of Physiological Anthropology showed that regular consumption of fermented foods is associated with lower anxiety levels and better mood, issues that frequently accompany Parkinson's. How can you include fermented foods in your daily diet? Start gradually, especially if you're not used to these foods. A simple option is to replace industrialized yogurts with unsweetened natural yogurt at breakfast, adding fresh fruits or a small amount of honey for natural sweetening. Kefir, a fermented drink similar to liquid yogurt, can replace regular milk in recipes or be consumed as a beverage. For those with swallowing difficulties, smoothies with kefir or yogurt are excellent alternatives. As for fermented vegetables like sauerkraut and kimchi, start with 1 tablespoon as a side dish at lunch or dinner, gradually increasing according to your tolerance. A valuable tip: prepare your own fermented foods at home to ensure the presence of live probiotics, since many commercial versions are pasteurized, which eliminates beneficial bacteria. An important point for people with Parkinson's: some fermented foods contain tyramine, a compound that can interact with certain medications, especially MAO-B inhibitors used in treating the disease. If you take this type of medication, consult your doctor before significantly increasing consumption of fermented foods. Additionally, to optimize levodopa absorption, consider consuming fermented foods at least 1 hour before or 1 hour after taking this medication. Before we move on to the next section, I want to open space for something extremely valuable: your own experience. Have you discovered any food, small trick, or dietary adaptation that has helped you better deal with Parkinson's symptoms? You know that simple solution you found and thought, "Why didn't anyone tell me this before?" Sometimes, the best strategies come from those who live the reality of the disease every day, not from books or clinical studies. Share with us in the comments. You can simply copy and complete the phrase, "One thing I discovered that helped me a lot was..." Your contribution may seem small to you, but it might be exactly what someone else has been looking for months or years. I've seen people transform their lives after learning tips from other members of our community in the comments, and that's more powerful than any advice I can give alone. Let's make this space a true bank of collective wisdom, where everyone learns and grows together. Now, let's synthesize what we've learned today and offer some practical tips for implementing these superfoods in your daily life. Have you ever thought how amazing it would be to gather all these 6 superfoods into one delicious and nutritious meal? This would not only simplify your dietary routine, but also create a powerful synergy of nutrients working together to protect your brain cells and improve your mobility. I'll share with you a recipe I call the Anti-Parkinson Bowl, which incorporates all 6 foods we've discussed today. For the base, use 1 cup of finely chopped kale leaves, our cruciferous vegetable. Add half a cup of fresh blueberries and 1 tablespoon of chopped walnuts. For protein, include 3 ounces of grilled salmon or sardines. Prepare a dressing by mixing 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt, our fermented food, with half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a drizzle of olive oil. Pour over the other ingredients and mix. In less than 15 minutes, you'll have a complete meal that provides all the neuroprotective nutrients we discussed. For variations, you can substitute kale with broccoli, salmon with tuna, or yogurt with kefir. The beauty of this recipe is its versatility and simplicity, even for people with tremors or motor difficulties. Remember that consistency is more important than perfection. Small, sustainable changes in your diet, implemented gradually, will bring more benefits than radical transformations that are difficult to maintain long-term. A practical approach is what I call the 2-to-1-1-1 method. Include cruciferous vegetables at least 2 times a week, fatty fish 1 time a week, a handful of nuts daily, a serving of blueberries or other red fruits daily, a teaspoon of turmeric daily, divided throughout the day, and a portion of fermented foods daily. This strategy makes it easier to incorporate all these superfoods in adequate proportions into your routine without feeling overwhelmed by drastic changes. Additionally, keeping a food diary associated with your symptoms can be extremely revealing, helping you identify which specific foods seem to improve or worsen your particular symptoms. Remember that nutrition is just one piece of the puzzle. Regular physical activity, stress management, quality sleep, and adherence to medication treatment are equally important for effectively managing Parkinson's symptoms. Finally, if you're considering making significant changes to your diet, it's always advisable to consult a nutritionist with experience in neurodegenerative diseases who can personalize recommendations according to your specific needs, medications, and other aspects of your health. Now I want to share with you a frequently neglected but extremely important aspect: how proper hydration can enhance the benefits of all the superfoods we discussed today. Water is essential for transporting nutrients to the brain, eliminating toxins, and optimizing nervous system functioning. People with Parkinson's often reduce fluid intake due to swallowing difficulties or reduced mobility to go to the bathroom, which can significantly worsen symptoms such as constipation, a common problem in the disease. Additionally, dehydration, even if mild, can increase fatigue, worsen cognitive function, and potentially intensify tremors. A study from Cleveland Clinic found that Parkinson's patients who were properly hydrated responded better to dopaminergic medication and experienced fewer episodes of freezing when walking. Try to consume at least 2 liters of fluids daily, preferably water. If you have difficulty remembering to hydrate, set regular reminders or use bottles marked with times. Herbal teas, especially those prepared with ginger, mint, or chamomile, also count toward your total hydration and offer additional benefits such as anti-inflammatory and calming properties. For those with swallowing difficulties, using food thickeners recommended by speech therapists can make fluid intake safer. An additional tip: some studies suggest that natural coconut water without added sugar can be particularly beneficial due to its electrolyte content, which helps in the conduction of nerve impulses, potentially benefiting motor coordination. If this video has brought any hope or useful information to you, I'd like to invite you to become part of our support community here on the channel. Living with Parkinson's presents unique challenges that often only those who experience them truly understand. By subscribing to the Beyond Parkinson channel, you'll have access to new videos every week with specific techniques for each Parkinson's symptom, from exercises to improve balance to strategies for reducing morning stiffness. Our commitment is to bring content that really makes a difference in your daily life, filtered and tested by specialists, but explained in simple and direct language. Many of our subscribers report that small changes learned here have transformed their independence and confidence. To subscribe, it's very simple. Just click the subscribe button below this video and then the bell to be notified when we publish new content. Remember, you are not alone on this journey, and every step counts. We want to follow and support your progress and celebrations. Every small victory matters, and we're here to help you achieve many of them. Thank you for being with us today, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take good care.